Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Zaron.
Hey, Elizabeth. Sorry, I was napping.
Zaron, listen.
Yes?
How you doing today?
I am well rested now.
Are you?
Yeah, what about you? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there.
Yeah, you seem bright-eyed, bushy-tailed.
My tail? Bushy.
Full bush.
Yes, bushy. Do you know what's ridiculous?
I do. Pinocchio.
Sure.
No, do you know the story of the Pinocchio, like the premiere in New York City of the movie? It was like a big deal. Walt Disney like hired people, like little people to play Pinocchio. He hired what's the opposite of a baker's dozen? Like 11.
11?
Oh, 11 of them. He hired 11 little people. This is in 1940, right? And he put them up on top of this marquee, and they're all dancing up there and supposed to throw stuff and blow kisses at the people, all dressed as Pinocchio, right? Little people.
11 Pinocchios?
But they were going to be up there for all day long.
Zaron, there's only one Pinocchio.
Oh, I know. Well, in this case, there was 11.
Yeah.
And he gave them lunch and then also bottles of wine. And
what?
Yeah, I know. Wine is wild. And it was so hot that day that they ate all the food. And by afternoon, they drank all the wine. And then it's so hot that they took off their costumes. They stripped down and got naked. So you had these naked, painted little people on top of this marquee. And they started throwing things at people and shouting profanities at the crowd. It was amazing.
Bizarre.
But eventually it got so bad that the police had to be called in to pull them down off the marquee. And do you know how they did it? They put them in pillowcases and drug them off.
Stop.
Like a bag of kittens.
No, that did not happen.
1940, not that long ago.
They put them in pillowcases?
Yes.
Grown people.
Grown people, drunk, naked in pillowcases and threw them over their sacks like they're going down to the river to get rid of kittens. Yeah, Pinocchio.
I don't like this,
yeah,
but it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, right?
It's totally
Walt
ridiculous.
Disney.
Do you want to know what else is ridiculous?
Oh my God, I hope so.
Plants. Plants are ridiculously cool.
Hey.
This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous.
You damn right.
That's right. Today,
yes.
Zaron, is gardening day here at Ridiculous Crime.
Oh, call him Auntie Donna.
Gardening's my escapism.
Yes.
I'm outside, which I love.
That's true.
All that matters are the living things I'm assisting.
That's true.
I love the entire process and the cycle of gardening.
And the sun, too.
Yeah, well, from starting seeds, prepping beds, fertilizing, pruning, cultivation, blah, blah, blah.
All the stuff.
The rest of the world doesn't exist when I'm in the gardens area.
You got 2 green thumbs.
Sometimes I listen to music.
Do you?
Most of the time I just listen to what's around me.
I just eat what you grow.
You eat what I grow. I listen to birds.
Yeah,
I listen to my neighbor
that's cool.
Practicing the clarinet.
I used to like doing that as a house painter, sitting up on a roof listening to birds.
Listen to birds. It's good stuff. That's how I stay relatively sane. Almost.
Good for you.
I love gardening shows. Let's just talk about me for a little bit
Let's do it. You introduced me to Monty Don. That was
cool. Well, that's
cool.
to say my dog is named after the host of BBC Gardener's World, Monty Don. Gardener's World, best show ever.
That is a cool show.
It's like Xanax.
It is. It's a little bit slow.
It's pleasant, relaxing, happy. If you have BritBox and you want to chill out and be spoken to intelligently and quietly, just watch it.
Okay.
Watch Gardener's World. But this is going to be a mellow episode. We're going to take the temperature down a little bit. Yeah. I follow a bunch of gardening subreddits.
Of course you do.
And that's where I'm going to start today.
Okay.
So this is something I read about on Reddit, and then I experienced it for myself.
Ooh, this will be interesting.
There are indeed gardening crimes. And I'm going to start off with one that's more of a scandal, but I suppose you could classify it as fraud.
Like stolen radicchio?
It is Peppergate.
Peppergate.
So this Peppergate was the seed distribution scandal that went down 2 years ago, 2023.
Seed distribution scandal?
Yeah, I know. It's hard-boiled. This is
Your world is so different than mine.
It's so Pablo Escobar. It's it's edgy. So that summer, 2023, gardeners, small ag producers, they started reporting that their pepper plants weren't growing true to type.
What does that mean?
So seed packets would be labeled as like specific varieties, like say sweet bell peppers or very specialized hot peppers.
Okay.
And they were producing either the wrong type of pepper or in some cases no fruit at all.
Oh, that's got to be frustrating. It takes a while to figure that out.
Right, exactly. So the issue started to gain traction on gardening forums. Like, it was in Reddit, TikTok, where the name Peppergate was coined.
Huh.
And so
I missed all of this.
I read about it and then I lived it, Zaron.
You lived it? It happened to you?
Well, I start my vegetable plants from seed.
Do you?
Yes.
That's cool.
And I use small or heirloom seed suppliers. And I stay away from stuff like Burpee or things at the hardware store because I want like really specific varieties.
Okay, I'm going to be really dumb. Is Burpee a brand?
Burpee's a brand.
Okay.
That's like the big dog gardening.
Okay, I don't know if it's like a technique or what.
No, Burpee. Well, isn't that like a CrossFit thing?
Yeah.
No, I don't do that either. But like...
That's all I knew it as. I knew that's not what you meant.
I had some peppers that I started from seed in January of 2023.
Okay. January, wow.
Corno di Toro Italian sweet peppers, Zapotec jalapenos. That kind of thing.
I like jalapenos.
So I was at home despot, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm picking up some dirt.
Okay.
And I saw poblano pepper seedlings from like a big garden brand.
Sure.
And I was like, you know what? I forgot to start poblanos from seed. Because if you dry them, you get Chipotle.
The Elizabeth internal dialogue.
Yeah,
I forgot my poblanos.
I was like, you know what? I'm just going to grab 2 of them and tuck them into my raised beds.
Nice.
No one's the wiser. And they flourished.
Oh.
And then they started producing. And honey, there were no poblanos.
What?
They were shishitos, Zaron.
Oh my gosh, shishitos.
So
like the face brush?
Yeah,
That's
sure.
Shishido.
I occasionally enjoy some roasted shishitos, but not too bustling.
Is that a hot pepper?
It's like the thing about shishito peppers is that like 1 out of 10 that you eat is hot. It's like a Russian roulette of peppers.
Okay.
Otherwise,
the
they're
plant
just like
decide?
a regular kind of sweet pepper.
Like
yeah.
This one's hot, this one's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and so you pick them, you roast them in the oven, and then people have them like they'll dip them in stuff, but it's like an appetizer. It's roasted shishitos, and then every now and then you get a yowie.
This is wild,
right? So I have all these shishitos, right? I'd seen this happen in other people's lives, and now it's happening in mine. As Morrissey
in your
sang.
backyard, in your garden.
Yeah. So here's what went down: a large seed distributor, a subcontractor for a lot of popular retail seed brands, mislabeled pepper seed batches during packaging. So one of the things this exposed is that most seed packet brands you see are filled by pretty much the same company.
Oh, yeah.
And so a mistake at the top of the chain trickled down to stores everywhere.
And numerous brands.
Yes, there are about 4 companies that control most of the small seeds in the world.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
It's totally monopolized. So like small businesses don't always have clear lines to the product origin.
Oh, that's lame.
And seeds, they're purchased through a broker working under a larger broker or distributor, and then that's owned by an even larger company.
And this is also true for the heirlooms you were saying.
Yes.
Whoa.
Well, no, not for the heirlooms, not for the small ones. So like I only had the problem with the seedlings that I got at Home Depot.
Ah, so not the heirlooms.
But like the ones I grew from seed from small places, they knew exactly where it was coming from. So a lot of the seed
this is all new to me.
Yeah, the seed packet companies, like when you go into like say Ace Hardware and they'll have like that whole rack and they look all
spin it
pretty.
around and it's all
like so they don't divulge their sources. You can't see on there.
Oh, it doesn't say where it comes
from.
Whoa.
And a lot of times, because they'll market themselves as like old timey and organic-ish and small.
Yeah.
But they're getting their seeds from like Monsanto.
The same. Okay.
Yeah. So the seed packet that you buy for 99 cents at a Dollar Tree might have the exact same seeds as those in a packet for $4.99 at Ace or $6.50 at a specialty store.
Whoa.
Same supplier. So somewhere along the line, there was a lack of quality control in the labeling and the sorting. And there also could have been like cross-contamination. But it looks like it was just a mix-up, and it was massive.
Sounds like it.
So sweet peppers were labeled as hot peppers, vice versa. It was chaos, Zaron. The big thing was that a lot of people bought more expensive, rarer varieties and wound up with like cheaper basic stuff like generic jalapenos or banana peppers.
Oh, so they're basically getting fraud, ripped off. Yeah.
And then it seemed like a lot of people wound up with banana peppers. I know. Some, like me, they bought seedlings at a store. Others started from seed and they didn't get what they wanted. Reddit, TikTok, just chock full of people angry.
Oh, I bet your people, this would drive them nuts.
So many
You guys like to be able...
This was not big Gardener's World energy. This was angry.
Yes.
So all of these, like a bunch of different major seed brands, they issued public statements, they offered refunds or replacements, and there was talk about a class action lawsuit based on breach of warranty. Yeah, because
to get your $3 back.
Small scale farmers who
I
sell
hadn't thought about that.
They sell at like farmers markets and such,
course.
or they supply the CSA boxes, the community supported agriculture boxes.
I like those.
You get stuff direct from a collective of local farms.
I've done that. They drop the food off in front of your house. It's dope. You get a box of produce.
And you don't know what's going to be in there. It's just
surprise.
whatever's in season and ripe. Yeah. Amazing. So CSAs and small farmers markets, they were out of a whole year's worth of peppers.
Oh, man.
And that's sad. Like it blew like...
Also, it's going to mess up a lot of stuff. Not just sad, but I mean, that's
I'm saying like it ruined their whole business for the year.
I imagine.
If you were like doing a lot of peppers in your...
And possibly the next year, because how do you trust them again?
Exactly. So what it did, though, it started driving business to small seed companies. That's good. And it got people saving their own seeds from year to year instead of buying new seed packets.
Also always good.
Zaron, it was a cautionary tale.
I'm telling you.
About supply chain fragility. So high stakes for something so small.
Seriously.
Now, speaking of small seed companies,
yes.
I have an even bigger scandal for you.
Please.
The Purple Galaxy tomato scandal.
The what?
So
is that a tomato?
Yes, it all started
a purple galaxy.
When the 2024 Baker Creek seed catalog came out. I get the catalog.
Dude, I bet you do.
Of course I do. I don't usually buy from Baker Creek because apparently they had Clive and Bundy speak at some event once and their seeds aren't the best germinators. But I do love their catalog.
Wait, the like BLM Clive Bundy like steal the land from the government?
Yes.
Why is he talking
sovereign
to gardening?
Citizen. That's what a lot of
I guess they have to
gardeners
feed themselves because they're sovereign citizens.
I guess. So a lot of people don't order from them because of that.
Interesting.
But also they're just they get duds sometimes. But they have an amazing catalog. It gives me ideas.
Like pictures-wise you're talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it comes in like December or January. It has all the seeds for the years.
Now, by the way, do they have like a J. Peterman catalog where there's a character telling you about these seeds?
Almost.
Really?
Well, not a character, but like there's the descriptions are really fabulous. Some of them have incredible illustrations. But this is like you get this catalog in the dead of winter. You're dreaming of warm weather, being out in the garden. Yeah. It's garden porn. It's garden porn.
I can see that.
So the 202024 Baker Creek
Your world is so wild to me.
Catalog. It had a stunning cover model. Porn. Oh my God, the cover model.
They have fold-outs.
It was the Purple Galaxy tomato.
Was that the centerfold that year?
Man alive, it was a looker. Okay, so it was a blackish purple tomato with tiny pink dots on the outside.
Oh, that's the
and
stars?
Like a deep violet fuchsia inside.
Whoa.
Yeah. That was the distinction because most purple tomatoes, they don't hold their color inside.
Oh, just the skin.
And so it was
I'm learning
billed
so much.
as the, quote, purplest non-GMO tomato ever.
The purplest.
The purplest. GMO being genetically modified organism. So this was either way you slice the tomatoes, Zaron.
Boom.
It was a great looking tomato. There are also supposed to be all these like health benefits because it's like when you have a purple skinned tomato, high antioxidants, high anthocyanin.
Okay.
So these compounds, reduce the risk of cancer, inflammation,
antioxidant properties.
Yeah. So, and they're also a good source of vitamins, and minerals,
totally. I mean,
and all that.
Eat your colors, people.
That's right. So there it is on the cover. But some people noticed that it looked a whole lot like a GMO tomato. Made by a company called Norfolk Healthy Produce, NHP. Now remember, Baker Creek is like, we're no GMO, we're heirloom, we're, blah.
We write in cursive.
Yeah, we draw pictures. NHP is a UK company with American operations based in Davis, California.
What? My hometown?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep. UC Davis, my alma mater, premier ag school. Me, would say it's the best in the planet. And I should know because I have an English degree from there.
You should know.
I should know. So they've always been on the cutting edge of crop innovation at UC Davis.
Invented the flavor saver tomato.
Yeah, so there's Cultivar VF 145, a.k.a. the square tomato.
There's that one too, yes.
Came out of Davis. It wasn't really square. It was just less round.
Yeah.
And it was to keep the tomatoes from rolling off of conveyor belts. They also had thicker skins. So they'd pack into boxes better.
Yeah.
Wouldn't roll off the top of a truckload.
It's very Japanese.
Yeah, fewer losses. So Davis, as you know from growing up there, is smack dab in the middle of commercial tomato country.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Trucks haul tons of the things from fields to canneries each fall. And the square tomatoes, they were designed for just that, commercial use, not fresh
Around my
market
birthday,
sale.
every country road, you turn a corner is just littered with tomatoes where the trucks have made a turn and tomatoes
all
dump
slide
off the side.
because they weren't using the square.
Mm-hmm.
The inventor of the square tomato was this guy, Gordy Jack Hanna. He was an associate in the Agricultural Experiment Station and a professor in truck crops, which,
truck crops.
that's the greatest at Davis. He was also a plant breeder with this private company, Pedoseed, in Woodland, California.
Okay. Shout out Woodland, Woodpile.
According to local lore on the Davis Wiki,
Yes.
Dr. Hanna would, quote, stand in the fields, walk among the plants, collecting random tomatoes, and then go and throw them out into the road as a test.
Yeah, my man.
He kept and rebred from the plants featuring tomatoes hardy enough to survive his test, eventually giving us the hardy tomato that can withstand being picked by machine and transported by truck.
And have flavor.
Boom. So NHP, based in Davis, they engineered a purple tomato called the purple tomato.
So Davis.
And that was just like the one from Baker Creek.
Okay.
Only it was engineered with the genes from a snapdragon flower in
okay.
order to achieve purple flesh. So tomatoes, they have about 35,000 genes, and purple tomato has only 2 extras from a snapdragon.
Okay.
According to NPR, quote, when news of a non-GMO purple-fleshed tomato variety started circulating on social media last fall, some scientists and tomato enthusiasts weren't so sure. I had discussions with colleagues about it, and all of us just looked at it and said, well, that's the GMO tomato, says David Francis, a professor of horticulture and crop science at The Ohio State University who specializes in tomato breeding and genetics. Traditional plant breeders to date have not been able to create a purple-fleshed tomato with cross-pollination. Purple skin, yes. Purple flesh, not so much. But using recombinant DNA technology, scientists in the United Kingdom had developed a purple-fleshed tomato high in antioxidants. It was recently approved for sale and consumption in the United States. So you can see where it has to be genetically modified to get there.
Exactly.
Baker Creek says we don't do GMO. They're aggressive about that.
Oh, it sounds like it.
NHP, very much GMO. So NHP sees the catalog. They get the catalog. They're like, hubba, hubba. But wait a second.
Look at those
She
tomatoes.
looks familiar.
I recognize that flesh.
They call foul. So they got some of the seeds, tested them, and found they were actually GMO. They were genetically modified.
I bet that's not hard to test.
Right. Baker Creek immediately pulled the seeds from the catalog and destroyed all the stock.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then they released a statement on Facebook, because that's where, if you're serious, you put your statements. Quote, after repeated testing, we are unable to conclusively establish that the purple galaxy does not contain any genes that have been genetically modified. So they said, well, we got our seeds from this really reputable traditional plant breeder. And per NPR, quote, a hobby breeder in France where growing GMOs is banned.
Yeah.
So they blame a French guy.
They're like, yeah, blame the French. When in doubt, blame the French.
But the problem is that the purple tomato and the technology used to breed it, patented. So NHP was like, look, just take the seeds off the market. But we do want to know, how did the seeds go from a UK lab to some guy in France? Corporate espionage?
Yeah, what's up, Jacques?
Right. So NHP was like, look, GMOs, low risk in terms of spreading and damaging biodiversity when it comes to tomatoes.
Okay. No cross-pollination.
Yes. I mean, they're just like, they're just trying to explain that, look, these aren't poisonous tomatoes.
I got you.
And so there were threats of lawsuits, threats of investigations,
I bet.
and then it kind of stalled out. Those are 2 plant scandals to get us warmed up today.
Oh, I like that.
Next up, serious crime.
Okay.
Let's break for some ads, and when we get back, we'll experience the smuggler's blues.
Ooh.
Zaron.
Elizabeth.
Welcome.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about Davis and tomatoes.
I
was
know,
like right back to the summer. That was wild. Go on.
Welcome to my garden.
Yes.
The big dog of plant crimes is smuggling.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. And there are a lot of reasons why it's illegal.
Smuggling?
Yeah, because smuggling plants.
Oh, okay.
So, if you take plants from really fragile ecosystems, you're disrupting natural processes and you get habitat loss for other species. There's like the overcollection of rare and endangered plant species that can push them to extinction, reducing biodiversity.
Completely.
If you smuggle a plant, Zaron, there could be pests and disease in it.
Oh, yes. Moving
Not
that boll
native.
weevil around or whatever.
Yes. Harming native plants, animals, whatever. Some smuggled plants pose a health risk to animals, humans.
Oh, yeah, because if they're in the wrong environment, they're like, we have no natural defenses or whatever.
Or people are like, this is a beautiful flower, and they smell it and they die.
Okay, there's that too.
Because they don't know what it is because someone smuggled it from somewhere. Anyway, so the plant trade is often also linked to organized criminal networks.
Oh.
And that is an episode of Law and Order Organized Crime that I want to see.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Let me give you some example cases. And you and I, we can pretend that Elliot Stabler, Chris Maloney, Detective Juicy Booty, is the one investigating all these. Let's pretend. So succulents and cacti, very popular these days.
Succulents and cacti. Yes, but I like them personally because they're hard to kill.
That is true.
And then you don't have to water them for like a week, sometimes 2 weeks.
Let them do their thing.
I can go on a vacation, come back, and like, oh, I should have thought about my plants.
Well, and living in California, we can just leave them outside all the time.
That's true.
Whereas like in other climates, they got to bring them in, go back and forth.
What zone are we in? I just learned that we have zones of plants.
10B here.
Oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to keep that for party tricks.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Because, my brain is... So anyway, a very popular and highly coveted succulent these days is the living rock cactus.
Ooh, cool.
It's close cousin to peyote.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does it have any properties?
No, people love them because there are no thorns and they're very plush. They're tiny. They're not tall.
Okay.
And the only place that it's found is in the Big Bend region of the Chihuahuan Desert.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Hardy plant.
It kind of looks like Grogu hands.
Nice.
That's what they look like.
Grogu hands.
They aren't endangered, but they are protected.
Okay.
And they're only found in this very small area, and they take decades to mature.
If it's not that, then it's a sparkling succulent.
Yes, exactly. It's a sparkling rock, not living rock. So back in 2012, U.S. Fish and Wildlife, they got a tip. There was smuggling going on in Texas. Moving living rock cacti. Thousands of them.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so smugglers were offering these rare plants online to customers in Asia, Europe.
Oh, yeah.
And they would falsify custom slips to say the plants were something else. And this, my friend, is a violation of the Lacey Act of 1900.
Okay. I'm familiar. Yes.
So that was the first federal law in the United States to address wildlife conservation.
Yeah. Shout out Lacey Act.
Right. Thank you, Lacey. And Cagney. It originally went into effect.
Cagney Act.
The Cagney Act. That's so you can't eat things that are made from the
from the stuff from the Lacey Act
the other
protection.
part of it. They go hand in hand.
Yeah, they have to be together.
Did you ever told you I saw Tyne Daly in person once?
You have,
like
actually.
In real life,
yeah.
I saw her. She's across the street from me.
Apparently, it was really memorable for you.
Really was. That's like my one celebrity sighting.
Was her brother Tim Daly there?
No, I didn't even get to see Tim Daly.
Just one of the Dalys?
Tyne Daly. There she is across. Okay. So the Lacey Act goes into effect to stop illegal commercial hunting and interstate shipment of wildlife.
Okay.
And it currently prohibits trade in wildlife, fish, and plants that have been illegally taken, possessed, transported, or sold. So what's crazy about this is that it applies to both U.S. and foreign laws.
Yeah.
So if a plant or animal is taken illegally under another country's law and imported to the U.S., it's still illegal under the Lacey Act.
It's a Lacey Act violation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it requires the declaration of plant and timber species and country of origin when importing certain products. So Fish and Wildlife, they take this seriously, as well they should.
Yeah, it sounds like that's like one of their major things to do.
The director of their Southwest region, Amy Luders, she said in a statement, quote, "Those who came before us knew the importance of protecting wildlife from unlawful trade, and this law continues to stay relevant each time a poacher or wild plant smuggler is charged." So boom, Zaron.
Yeah, this is the law. Stick to it.
This is the law. So Fish and Wildlife, they got search warrants for 6 different houses, all in West Texas. We don't know how many plants were smuggled in total, but authorities seized around 4,000 in the raids.
Damn.
Yeah. One of the plants that they seized was like 30 years old.
And they're taking them one at a time in it. right?
They're going out in the desert and scooping them up and throwing them into a bag.
Yeah, but they have to pick each one. They're not like just digging up like a big section of earth.
Oh, yeah,
right?
no, one by one.
Yeah.
Some of the plants were just like stored in plastic bags, so they had started to rot.
Oh, God.
It's not cool, dude.
No, come
now.
on.
It's a
Monty
living
Don would
thing.
never do that.
Oh, Monty Don would faint. The surviving seized cacti, they were turned over to Sul Ross State University.
Okay.
They have preserved a large number on campus, but they also found like permanent homes.
They rehomed
So they
the
couldn't
succulents.
really return most of them to the wild because they didn't know what subpopulation they were from.
They didn't want to interrupt.
Right.
Yeah, you
They were
can't
like,
just go.
it's like if you get taken from like East Oakland and then planted back in West Oakland.
That ain't right.
No,
It's
you
not
don't
all
know the
Oakland.
land.
Yeah.
So you can't just go stick them anywhere. So the big dog in the ring, that was Harry George Bach II.
Not Harry George Bach the second.
He's Harry Bach. He shipped 41 living rock cactuses that were seized in an international mail facility in Chicago.
This is like a Dr. Seuss run. Harry Bach's The Living Rock.
2018.
Okay.
Yeah, Bach was shipping rock. 2018 in Chicago. In 2020, he pleaded guilty before a magistrate in Pecos, Texas, to 1 count of mislabeling exports in a scheme to ship cactuses overseas.
Okay.
As part of a plea agreement, he faced 3 years probation, $7,200 in restitution, and he had to forfeit the 41 living rock cactuses.
But no time behind bars.
No.
So they threw the plant catalog at
They
him.
busted another dude. He got like 3 years probation, had to pay more than 10 grand in restitution.
Okay.
There's a 72-year-old fella out of Study Butte, Texas.
Study Butte.
Yeah, he got misdemeanor charges going back to 2016, probation. So all these guys, they get probation. One dude, he got felony, 3 years probation, and 60 grand in restitution.
Could you imagine losing your voting rights because you were like running hot plants?
Oh, you go inside?
Yeah.
They're lucky they didn't go behind bars. What are you in
What
for?
are you in for?
Cactus smuggling. They look like Grogu hands.
Did you say plum smuggling?
One
No,
guy-
cactus smuggling.
One guy, he was busted on the charges, but he also had to forfeit his firearms. They seized his guns.
Yeah, felonies, yeah.
Yeah,
totally.
so they're like, I know you're a plant smuggler.
And a gun owner. Now you're only
can't
one.
have the guns
Yeah.
now, sir. Here are some wise words from U.S. Attorney John Bash on the matter. Quote, when you mess with protected Texas cacti, you're messing with Texas.
Pecos Bill would have it no other way.
So these bad hombres, though, right? They
Yeah.
have nothing on the world's most notorious succulent thief, South Korean national Byung-soo Kim.
Wait a minute. This sounds familiar.
Let's talk Dudleya.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk about it. Commonly known as live forevers.
Okay. I think I have. Yes.
So these are a type of rosette-forming succulent plants that are in the stonecrop family.
Uh-huh.
Super desirable. They're native to California and northern Baja California. 47 species, 21 subspecies. As I said, very popular, very trendy, very like Pinterest, Insta aesthetic girl stuff.
I got you. Like an air plant. Like people want these things because they're the thing.
Yes, and it's
Okay.
dawning on me that I think you probably heard about it from another place that I heard about it.
Yes.
We have a mutual friend,
Yes.
Kip,
Yes. Kip.
who's in the California Native Plant Society, and he will go on a diatribe about this.
Oh, totally. I think he helped with some of the detective work.
I think he went undercover as a rock.
They cling to the coastline, right? To get the watery
exactly.
air. Yeah.
And like if you get Kip started about this,
Oh, he turned red.
yeah, he's just like this is really upsetting.
You would think he was talking about like orphans, like children,
no,
like in my
he's
world.
talking about Dudleya.
Yeah, I
And
remember
so
this. Yes.
There, a California game warden, he told the USC paper, quote, "It's like having a Fendi bag on Rodeo Drive." Dudleya farinosa from the wild bluffs of Mendocino, California, especially a 5-headed one, is apparently a super cool thing to have. And I was like, I didn't get the game warden's name, but I wanted to know if it was Kip. So many of the plants trafficked to South Korea probably ended up being resold elsewhere.
And they sold for a lot, right? They're really
Yeah,
desirable in Asia because
yeah.
they grow and they look really beautiful when they sit there. But
Right. And so, these things start getting popular. California Fish and Wildlife, they're like, oh, I noticed that as they're going through their Pinterest. They're like, that's not a houseplant. But so the truth is that the hipsters in South Korea, they weren't the ones buying up the plants because like these plants don't do well in domestic captivity for the average
yeah,
owner.
they need the ocean water, right?
Yeah. So
Or
the
ocean
one
air.
that was most sought after, that farinosa, it's according to The Guardian, is, quote, particularly charismatic to humans, experts say. They boast the precise mix of qualities that Americans demand from crime victims. They are pretty and small, very fragile, and yet curiously resilient.
That's what we demand from crime victims?
I guess.
I didn't know that about us.
Yeah. I'm like, make them pretty and small. Anyway, so that's not going to make you a lot of money with mass consumers, something that's, not going to live very long. So but
you only got to sell it once. So.
Well, no, because the thing is, they smuggle them to South Korea because there are these high-end greenhouses there.
Oh.
And the wild Dudlia could then be babied there for a few years in perfect conditions. Okay. And then they're big and beautiful. They're not small and pretty, fragile anymore. They're big and beautiful. These are big mamas. And they get sold at these astronomical prices to like elite collectors.
When he told me the prices, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So how does Mr. Kim factor into all of this?
How, Elizabeth?
Well, first of all, I need to let you know that his alias was Neo, like in The Matrix.
Oh, wow.
I love that movie.
Do you?
But being called Neo while stealing plants is like big loser energy.
Yeah, super big
I'm embarrassed
loser energy.
for him.
Like, come on,
call
bro.
me Neo.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not going to.
Now, do you want to buy a stolen Dudlia?
And he's like spinning around in a trench coat. And you're like, stop, dude. Stop.
Bend over bullet time.
Stop it.
Throw the plant at me. Watch this.
Mr. Kim, no, call me Neo. No.
No, I refuse.
Neo flew from Mexico into Los Angeles International Airport in October of 2018. And with him were his two assistants, Youngin Bak and Bong Joon Kim.
Okay.
And they thought they were like slipping in, but California Fish and Wildlife were all over them the moment they set foot
they were
on
on
our
a watch
sweet
list?
soil. Yeah. So game wardens tailed the trio.
Wow.
They watched as they went and rented a minivan. And then they filled up the van with like empty backpacks and plastic bins and boxes. They got all their supplies.
Picturing the game wardens in like a rental car, but they've got like dirty boots in there.
No, they're in like a tan Jeep.
Totally.
But with like false nose and glasses on. So then they trail the minivan up as they drive up the coast. And for a week, the wardens watched and followed as the guys stopped at state parks all along the Northern California coast. Yeah. And in each stop, they'd like scramble up to the rocky shore, sometimes cliffs, snatch up the plants. And like, how the coast is up there in Mendocino. Like you said, it's just like sheer.
They got lucky.
It's not sandy, flat beaches of Southern California.
It's a sheer cliff sometimes.
It is craggy and it is dramatic.
Yeah, you're hanging.
Yeah. So the three dudes, they filled the van, chock full, took the loot back. Filled the van, took it back down south to a business called Secret Garden Nursery in Vista, California.
Well, aptly named.
That's kind of halfway between like LA and San Diego.
Yeah, totally.
So inland from Oceanside. And I say that to those who know the state, and I apologize to the rest who this means absolutely nothing.
I think between LA and San Diego
but
works.
like the inland from Oceanside.
No, yeah,
whatever.
that part, no.
Anyway, so Vista, California, Secret Garden Nursery. So they drop off the stolen plants, they get back in the minivan, and then they go up to Mendocino again. Okay. They're like, Temendo, and off they go.
More Dudley.
Another load.
Yeah.
And so you know who was with them? Game wardens with the state, watching.
Oh, I thought they were in the car.
No, they're like clinging to the underside of it. So they waited and they watched as Neo hooked up documents to have the Secret Garden Nursery legally export 259 pounds of Dudlia. And the manifest said all the plants had originated in San Diego. Okay. And then the wardens watched while Neo and the crew took scores of boxes of plants to an export facility in Compton. And then they struck.
Finally.
Neo and the boys were driving off when they were intercepted by the plant police.
Oh, they did like a pit move on them?
Oh, totally. And it turns out the boxes held more than 600 pounds of succulents, 3,715 individual plants.
And these are not heavy plants. That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. All of them, it's like maybe the size of your fist.
Okay, yeah.
All of them more than double what the documentation claimed.
Totally.
So folks from the California Native Plant Society, like
shout
our
out to
pal
Kip's
Kip,
people.
stoked. And so Neo and his little goons, they were charged with conspiracy and violating a California law against destruction or removal of plant material on public land. And the wardens estimated that the total for all of this that they stole on the South Korean market was $600,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. So those were state charges. The feds, specifically the U.S. Attorney's Environmental Crimes Unit, they wanted in on it too. They wanted to make an example of these dudes. Whether that department exists in the U.S. Attorney's Office today, who's to say?
Who is to say?
Either way, Neo and the boys, they caught federal charges too.
Good.
It's like they say, as California goes, so goes the nation.
Sure.
So May of 2019, Kim, Neo, found out that the feds were going to bring the hammer down. So he ran.
Back to Korea?
Yeah, well, no, they had confiscated his passport when he got busted.
People.
Well, he got busted on the California state charges. Yeah. He gets around it by going to the South Korean embassy in LA. And he's like, guys, I lost my passport, which I mean, technically he's not wrong. Yeah. So they issued him a new one, and then he went down Mexico way. He crossed over to TJ on foot, Tijuana, and from there he flew to China, and from there South Korea. Huh. So he's in the wind until he wasn't.
Ooh.
After only 5 months, he popped up again.
He couldn't stay away.
This time in South Africa.
What?
And it was there that South African investigators busted him as he was illegally harvesting more than 2,000 rare succulents. South African climate is very similar to
I was just
California.
about to say, imagine that they would have, he's like, okay, I'll go to my secondary spot.
This was the other place.
Other harvesting spot.
One of the ones that he poached was more than 250 years old.
Wow.
And dozens of them are more than 100 years old.
So they live like tortoises.
So the prosecutor on the case gets a phone call. Ring, ring. Hello, Michelet. I guess what? I'm an American Fish and Wildlife Officer. I work at the embassy as an attaché. It's a cool job, and I have crazy news. Your plant smuggler is wanted back in the U.S. of A. So the South Africans, they were already heated up about Neo.
Oh, yeah.
And according to The Guardian, they, quote, highlighted the severity and brutality of Kim's crime against nature and how stealing, quote, large ancient mother plants puts the entire species at risk, especially during times of serious drought. The collection of these plants is an ecological tragedy, they wrote. So they weren't playing. They're totally right. So Kim pleads guilty to the South African charges, pays a large fine, does a year in prison there. Then gets,
so he did? Wow.
Then gets extradited to the U.S.
They don't play in Bloemfontein.
No. U.S. prosecutors, they asked for 3 years in prison. They're like, we want to make an example of him.
Yeah, send him back our way.
Neo's attorney was like, slow down, Joe. His client had been through the ringer.
Really?
So, he got COVID in prison.
Came out with tattoos, stick and poke tattoos that were no good.
He got the stuffing beaten out of him.
Did he?
It was so bad that his jaw had to be wired shut, which is how he showed up in court. And the attorney was like, this is what happens when you're locked up and you don't speak the language. I think it's because he went in there and was like, call me Neo. And they're just like, whop, whop. Yeah.
Teach you a lesson, son.
Either way, he gets sentenced to 2 years. Bureau of Prisons gave him credit for South African time served. Okay. And then he gets shipped off again.
Where to now?
Just like the plants he stole. This time to the tippy top of California in none other than your favorite place, the land that time forgot, Crescent City.
Oh, God. Wow. That place.
He had to face the music on the plant theft and fleeing prosecution charges from the state.
Yes.
So 2022, he pleads guilty, sentenced to 24 months. He only had to pay $4,000 in restitution to the state of California for expenses related to replanting the stolen plants after his arrest.
And then,
So let's take a break. I got to go water my plants. When we come back, more smuggling.
Yeah. Elizabeth.
Zaron, do you remember what?
I was saying, I during the break, I've been translating what you were telling me because this is a new world to me. So I'm like, let me put this in Smokey and the Bandit terms.
Yes.
And so I've been using that as a way to understand. I'm like, you can't take cores east of the Mississippi. That's bootlegging.
There it is.
So I'm like, now I get it.
Now it's clicking.
Yeah, okay.
Well, do you remember when I was telling you about the Lacey Act?
Yeah, totally.
1900.
Big fan of that act.
Time.
Totally.
It was a good time. We were so young.
Mm-hmm. So fresh.
Different time.
Taste.
Well, I have what is supposed to be a perfect example of a Lacey Act violation and battle with the government.
Please.
And it involves Gibson guitars.
Do they grow those?
Yeah. So they're famous for the Les Paul, the SG.
Yeah.
Gibson Guitar Corporation, they mainly make guitars and basses, mandolins. Yeah. Orville Gibson. He started making instruments.
Orville Gibson
back
is his
in
name?
1894.
Wow.
And the company was founded in 1902 as Gibson mandolin guitar.
Of course, yeah, totally. Probably a lot of mandolins.
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
From Kalamazoo.
Yeah, and as you can tell by the name, they were very mandolin forward in their early days. So the company, they invented archtop guitars that had the same principle behind violins, like how they're kind of that arch
Yeah, I know exactly.
on the face of it. Then they started making flat top acoustic guitars.
Okay.
And then the first commercially available hollow body electric guitars.
Yes.
All jangle, jangle. So 1944.
They also make a great dobro.
It's true, they do.
Yeah.
Chief Dobros.
Just throwing it out there.
In 1944, Gibson got bought by Chicago Musical Instruments, and then they got bought in 1969 by Ecuadorian Company Limited, which was actually a Panamanian firm. 1986, the company got scooped up by a group led by Henry Yuskovic and David Berryman. And then in November of 2018, private equity stepped in, and it was bought by Kohlberg Kravitz Roberts.
R.I.P. Gibson.
Yeah,
private equity, that's the death knell.
It really is. Throughout its history, Gibson has been involved in a lot of lawsuits.
Really?
Almost all of which stemmed from copyright stuff for design.
Because
people
designs?
rip off the Les Paul design.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought it the other way. Yeah, because you see the knockoffs. I had friends when we were poor who couldn't afford Gibsons.
They have their own down market version, the Epiphone.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But
So,
the
like
Les Paul, the knockoff of Les Paul, there's a bunch of those.
Tons of them. But there's another legal issue, and this one popped up during the Yuskowitz-Berryman years.
Okay, that's towards the end.
Yeah, in 2009, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services, our heroes today,
Totally.
they raided a Gibson factory.
Were they growing wood?
It seems they were using ebony wood illegally imported from Madagascar.
Oh,
This is a big problem. Madagascar suffers terrible poverty, corrupt government, and the world suffers from a terrible desire for beautiful things at a low cost.
And they've got a lot of them.
And one of them is fine-grained lumber. Yeah, so stuff like rosewood, ebony, stuff that makes Gibson guitars so gorgeous.
Totally.
So in its investigation, the U.S. Department of Justice found some smoking guns. They got their hands on emails in which Gibson employees talked about how ebony wood was part of a, quote, gray market, and that they could get it from a German wood dealer and just not ask questions about where he got it. And even though they knew that it was coming from a supplier in Madagascar.
Fell off the truck.
Yeah, so they made plans to buy the wood even though they knew the sale wasn't on the up and up.
All right.
Violation of the Lacey Act.
Yeah.
In June of 2011, the DOJ filed a civil proceeding, and it was the first of its kind under the recently amended Lacey Act. So importing companies had to follow the environmental laws in the country of origin, even if the place was corrupt and no one was enforcing those laws.
Okay. So in Myanmar?
Yeah, Madagascar. So Gibson fought the suit. They said that the government was, quote, bullying Gibson without filing charges. Then the owners of Gibson made the whole thing political by getting the Tea Party segment of the GOP, the Republicans, to side against the government on this, saying that it was going to impact jobs.
What?
Yeah. So then there was another Gibson factory raid. Zaron, close your eyes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, my eyes are closed.
I want you to picture it. You are a 19-year-old guy named Colby. You are forklift certified, and you work at the Gibson Electric Division Rough Mill facility in Nashville, Tennessee. When you tell people where you work, they think it's the coolest job ever. And it sort of is, but you aren't surrounded by cool guitars all day. You move pallets of wood to and from the kilns.
Oh.
You don't ever really see guitars, and certainly no rock stars or anything. You got this job through your cousin who works at Repair and Restoration next door. Now she gets to see and do cool stuff. She processes all the guitars that come in and sometimes meets some musicians and come to check the place out. But you're in the mill. It's a warm, late summer day. More than warm, it's sweltering. This is when it's pretty bogus working in the rough mill. You are at the wheel of a forklift, backing out of the storage area of the warehouse with a pallet full of raw rosewood, headed for the kiln to be dried. After that, it'll be plain and then headed to the manufacturing building. And that's where the magic happens, baby. You've spent the morning moving bundles of Indian ebony wood. The manifest ticket on these reads Indian ebony fingerboards, but there's another slip of paper that says they're veneers for the body of guitars. You know that's not true, but whatever, must be a paperwork mix-up. Just as you're moving your load of new rosewood toward the kiln, the warehouse doors, open to get some sort of air circulation, are crowded with guys in windbreakers. They look like FBI guys, but their jackets read U.S. Fish and Wildlife. You've heard something about this before, that the building was raided a few years ago and the feds were looking for wood from Madagascar. But this stuff's from India. You don't know what the big deal is. Over the crackle of their walkie-talkies, an agent yells at you to turn off the forklift and step aside. You do as you're told. There's a slam of an office door. You know what that means. It's Eugene. Eugene Nix. He's in charge of all the wood that comes in. He inspects it and then okays it for the kiln. Then he sends it for milling and then off to the factory. He's pissed. He marches up to the agents, a tinny radio playing classic rock in the background. Yeah, brother, you tell him, you think. Eugene grabs some papers from the hand of the agent out front. It's a warrant, the agent tells him. I can see that, Eugene says. Listen, the agent says, I know you're a craftsman, an expert, but we have to do our jobs here. Eugene scans the papers as agents fan out and shut the rest of the operation down. Your coworkers slowly emerge and gather around watching the standoff. Eugene sighs, folds up the warrant paperwork, tucks it into the front pocket of his thin, worn, short-sleeved button-down shirt, and then whips his cell phone from his belt holster. He pushes some buttons and waits. After a moment, he barks, Feds are here. It's the Indian wood. Yeah, call the lawyers. Into the phone and hangs up. You and your coworkers look at each other, then at Eugene. He looks at all of you and tells you it looks like you have the rest of the day off. You'll get paid out for the hours. Head on home and he'll see you tomorrow. And this, Zaron, was the raid that ground everything to a halt. So they hit a bunch of locations, including headquarters where they seized computers.
Uh-oh.
And Fish and Wildlife found that Gibson had been importing lumber from India, which is fine.
Sure.
But what they were importing wasn't legal. Because here's the thing. The International Tariff Code, also known as the Harmonized Schedule, categorizes items shipped all over the globe, and it's standardized across nations in order to smooth out trade.
Oh, smart.
Like true globalization.
Yeah.
So India forbids export of items categorized under the code 4407. Quote, wood sawn or chipped lengthwise, sliced or peeled, whether or not planed, sanded, or enjointed, of a thickness exceeding 6 millimeters. So basically, you can't export lumber from India unless it's already been worked on by Indian workers.
Smart.
So they want to protect their jobs.
No,
that makes
smart.
sense.
Yeah,
like everyone's got to look out for their own. Every country does this sort of thing. We do it.
Yeah.
You got to protect your industries. So Gibson, though, was importing unprocessed wood. Just bundles of the wood.
Yeah.
And they knew they weren't supposed to. And all those shipping documents that were supposed to keep this in line to be transparent about sourcing and destination, they were all off, full of discrepancies.
Fabricating.
Yeah. And so the bundles of wood that you were moving at the Gibson Rough Mill, they weren't supposed to be there. They were marked for destination Germany. This company called Luthier's Mercantile International in California was the importer of record. But they had nothing to do with this. The stuff was just being sent straight to Gibson in Tennessee. And so U.S. Fish and Wildlife, they showed up, seized the wood.
Yeah,
They'd been watching this at customs and they'd seized some other shipments.
The tracking shipments. Yeah, totally.
And so they took all the wood at the kiln, at the factory, at the storage facility, and like Gibson pitched a fit. They were caught red-handed. And so they went political
How
again.
did they pitch a fit? What, based on what? They're mad they got caught?
They blamed President Obama.
How?
Like, thanks, Obama. All right, so despite...
This is because he's Kenyan.
Despite evidence that they willfully flouted the law, they said that Obama had it out for them and specifically targeted them.
Okay.
So Yuskowitz, right? He said that Martin Guitars did the same thing and they didn't get raided.
And Ibanez does it too,
and
man.
He said it's because Martin were donors to the Democratic National Committee.
Oh, God.
But here's the thing. Martin Guitars had all their paperwork in line and they could prove they hadn't violated the Lacey Act, an act that went into effect more than 100 years before Obama was elected. So, according...
Also, they make classic guitars, like Willie Nelson's is a Martin.
Yeah, that's like the OG.
Yeah.
According to NPR, quote, Chris Martin, chairman and CEO of the C.F. Martin Guitar Company in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, said that when he first heard guitars built from Madagascar rosewood, he dreamed it might be the long-sought substitute for Brazilian rosewood, whose trade was banned in the 1990s due to overharvest. Then the situation in Madagascar changed. There was a coup, Martin says. What we heard was the international community has come to the conclusion that the coup created an illegitimate government. That's when we said, okay, we cannot buy any more of this wood.
Yeah.
And while some say the Lacey Act is burdensome, Martin supports it. Quote, I think it's a wonderful thing. I think illegal logging is appalling. It should stop. And if this is what it takes, unfortunately, to stop unscrupulous operators, I'm all for it. It's tedious, but we're getting through it.
That's the way. That's the approach. That's reasonable and responsible business.
So after all the bluster, all the victimhood and moaning, a development. After 1 year, Gibson, Yuskowicz, admitted to violating the Lacey Act.
Good,
they
finally.
copped to it. Because, like, if they kept trying to fight it, they knew criminal charges for the ownership was on the horizon.
Oh, wow.
And so there's, like, a major digital paper trail proving they knew what they were doing. They just, it was bad.
And a lot of musicians are ethical. You're going to start to lose customers.
Well, that was the thing, too, is that online, like, the response, apparently it was just, like, burning up Facebook with all this,
I was guessing,
these are American heroes and the Obama government's trying to go after them, right?
Other way, yeah.
But that was not guitar folks. Guitar folks in forums were like, this is actually, I don't want to play something that came from,
Totally, yeah.
So Gibson had to pay a $300,000 fine, and they forfeited the majority of the wood that was seized. But they did get some back.
How so?
And what happened with it is the question.
What happened with it, Elizabeth?
Thank you. In 2014, they released the government series, Les Paul SG 335 and Flying V guitars. The color, government tan.
Oh, man.
And so the guitar featured that rosewood seized by the feds in the Nashville raids. They made 1,750 guitars.
Okay.
And they started out at around $1,100 retail. They sold out, all of them.
Of course. Why not?
Company officials said the guitars, quote, suitably marks this infamous time in Gibson's history. So,
did they go to Cabo Wabo's people and say, could you write us our press release?
Oh, my God. Well, it gets better. So each guitar features a pick guard, quote, hot stamped in gold with the government series graphic, a bald eagle hoisting a Gibson guitar neck. Like, are you kidding me?
That's no Willie Nelson's IRS tapes. That's all I'm going to say.
No, not at all. So the company had a press release, quote, when the powers that be confiscated stocks of tone woods from the Gibson factory in Nashville, only to return them once there was a resolution and the investigation ended, it was an event worth celebrating. Well, yeah, it was. The investigation ended because you were guilty and you paid for it.
You paid your fines and fees.
So they didn't really become the collector's item that Gibson thought they were going to be.
It didn't sound
I
like
saw
it.
them online for maybe like $2,500, $3,200. You could pick one up. According to ultimateguitar.com, amazing.
One of my favorite reads every morning.
Quote, 7 years after the raids, Yuskowicz had run the company $500 million into debt.
Oh.
Since his departure, he insisted to Guitarist magazine that any notion that he had anything to do with Gibson Guitar's dwindling reputation is, quote, fake news. The company, now under new management, is committed itself to making guitars without critically endangered lumber. And the article continues, a report in the Nashville Business Journal in October of 2020 claimed that Yuskowicz is now starting up his own healthcare company in Nashville. Apparently, he found a business with bigger ethical loopholes to be exploited. Anyways, we look forward to what the future will hold for Gibson under new management, and we wish them the very best.
Well played. Nice
Dude,
snark.
ultimateguitar.com coming through. Zaron, what's your ridiculous takeaway?
I knew so little about any of this, but after hearing it all, I'm not surprised that the people involved are doing the stuff, like the smugglers and then the businessmen with the unethical, like, yeah, we'll take wood from wherever.
Yeah.
Like, why are people like this? Like, why can't you respect?
Exactly. I know.
What about you, Elizabeth? What's yours, Rose?
My takeaway is that I still managed to get all heated talking about plants.
I saw
and
that.
it's supposed to be chilled, man.
You worked it in.
I really did. It was not the Xanax I promised, but I think I'm going to go watch some Gardener's World and cool out.
I like it.
Dave, I think we should have a talk back.
Talk back. Oh my God, did he just say that?
OMG.
Hi, Elizabeth. I'm very, very sick right now, and I'm listening to you guys. This is actually as the vocal range of my voice at the moment. And I've just heard you do the introduction to the Pac-Man Fever episode, and the chicken lozenges are ridiculous. Do not want. We love you, but you're a sick lady. This is creepier than it sounds.
I think you're the sick lady. Save your voice, my goodness.
Wow, and maybe have a chicken lozenge. Who knows?
You know,
Could
maybe
help.
you laugh. Maybe
Chicken
that's
soup?
the solution.
By the way, if you're ever sick, chicken soup Orange juice, a shot of tequila will heal you every time, but not for that. Just common cold, that works every time.
Yeah, but just like, what about like generalized malaise?
Like, just like on a Monday?
What is just like dissatisfaction?
I think it'll probably help, but double up on
world?
the tequila.
That's it for today. You can find us online at ridiculouscrime.com. The website just won the Outstanding Act of Bravery medal from the Elko, Nevada Police Department.
Whoa, finally.
Yeah, I know. I'm so proud. We're also at Ridiculous Crime on Blue Sky and Instagram. We're on YouTube at Ridiculous Crime Pod. And you can email us at ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. But most importantly, as you know, I love these. Leave it talk back. Save your voices. Do it with robust. I don't want to hear anyone hurting themselves. Get the free iHeart app. Go through that. Reach out. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by fugitive luthier Dave Kustin. Starring Annalise Rutger as Judith. Research is by GMO truther Marissa Brown and keen observation quality assurance skills by Gray Witten. The theme song is by Poor Dirt Farmers just trying to make a living growing hollow body guitars, Thomas Lee and Travis Dutton. Host wardrobe is provided by Botany 500. Guest hair and makeup provided by Sparkleshot and Mr. Andre. Executive producers are Dandelion Smuggler Ben Bolin and Rogue Fish and Game Warden Noel Brown.
Ridiculous crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.